Every year on Thanksgiving morning, I wake up in my bed just a little bit depressed that I'm actually in bed and not in New York marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I don't know about you, but it's just been such a tradition for me and my family to watch the parade every year, and what a dream to get to march in the parade. So today we're gonna live vicariously through some performers on YouTube, thanks to a YouTuber who put all of the parade bands together, and we're gonna take a look at it. What's up, guys? My name is Jonathan. I'm a composer, arranger, and a marching arts designer based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and today we're gonna react to all of the marching bands in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Let's take a look. I love the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It has been a tradition for me to watch it for as long as I can remember, honestly. Even as a little kid, I remember watching it, seeing all the floats, seeing the performers, and then as I got older, paying more attention to the marching bands. And every year, I think of that John Mackey tweet that's like, be it known that the only performers gutsy enough to perform live are the marching bands. And that just says so much about the marching arts in general. Like, gosh, marching band kids are so awesome. So I thought it would be cool for us to all take a look at it together, and maybe for me to offer some feedback on a music arranging side and just kind of have a chance to relive this moment as the holidays, you know, are over and all. So let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Marching Mizzou, the massive and impressive band from the University of Missouri.
So I grew up in Missouri, and I actually considered doing my graduate degree at Mizzou. It was one of the schools that I considered. I haven't seen Mizzou live in a while. The last time I saw them was before they had these new uniforms. I have a lot of respect for Dr. Knops, just like girl power, like female head band director at a college, at an SEC school. Like, that's awesome. I did want to interrupt my own video for just a second because I forgot to mention something, and I think it's really important. The Marching Mizzou performance was dedicated to a student, Alex Jackson, who passed away on Thanksgiving of cancer. He was a mellophone player, a horn player. I saw the horn studio and Marching Mizzou shared that he passed on Thursday, and we just want to offer our condolences as the band community to any of the Marching Mizzou members and the family of Alex. I can only imagine when one student that has such an impact on an ensemble like that, it just really weighs on you, especially on Thanksgiving. So our condolences to you. Meant to mention it in the video, but definitely wanted to pop in and mention it. Yeah, I'm always curious how much of the sound we're actually getting through the cameras. I'm hearing a lot of trumpet sound, which is great. As a trumpet player, I get it, but I kind of wish there was a little bit more full band sound. But again, I don't know that that's the fault of the ensemble. I think it may just be how we're hearing that coming through the camera. This set is pretty cool, how they're moving in and out, and they've got these flags, and now we're bringing the pom-pom girls out. Yeah, we've moved in and out. We've done some like visual stuff. Pretty sedentary for most of it. Like, we've kind of just stayed in one place. I like the drum major and the baton twirler at the end.
When we return, TV
yeah, I mean, I think it's so hard. Like, there's just not a lot of time to do much there, right? So we're gonna continue to see other groups kind of do the same thing. But overall, really enjoyed Marching Mizzou. Go Mizzou. South Carolina, is this a high school group? Oh no, Benedict College, I'm sorry. Oh, it looks like an HBCU. Yeah. So definite different marching style from Mizzou. Oh, they're going after it. Yeah, they are. I do love the drum majors stuff with this show band style marching. Yeah, I got some horn angles going on. We definitely moved to seeing more of like the ensemble kind of featured around, and the actual feature visual people being either dancers or pom-pom girls or things like that. This really is not a huge group. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, I see three sousaphones. I mean, I would guess that group's probably 100 kids. Pretty solid sound.
Students and alumni from the Manuel R. Gutierrez Secondary
Interesting,
School
from Mexico.
in
Okay.
Veracruz, wearing their traditional charro suits.
I don't actually remember seeing these guys on the parade. Maybe I was up and doing something.
And playing La Fiesta del
I love the colors. Yeah, with the TV sound, we're just getting a lot of competing frequencies, so we're not hearing what I imagine is happening live, which is a much more like warm sound. It really wasn't as cold in New York on Thanksgiving as it is sometimes. So some of those instrument tendencies that you get whenever it gets really cold, I'm assuming were not as big of an issue on Thanksgiving, because I think it was like 47-ish. So yeah, very reflective of Mexican culture, the mariachi sound. I'm not as familiar with how marching band functions in Mexico, so that's really cool. It definitely seems like a larger portion of time than either of the other two groups, though, so I'm curious. I am curious how long groups get. Oh, nice. Nice. Great. Lots of spirit. Again, like, not a huge group, yeah? Then I have a police band. But what I was saying, I am curious how long groups get. I've seen through the years, it almost seems like maybe a little bit shorter amount of time. So if anybody knows, drop that in the comments. I'd be really interested to know what exactly kind of the premise of those, you know, those time frames are.
Formed in 1901. Got a good one today. Bon Jovi's "It's My Life."
It's My Life by Bon
Up
Jovi.
next, a classic performance by Fitz and the Tantrums. And
Oh, they
reggae
didn't really
star
stop and
Ziggy
do
Marley
anything.
When we return to the official home
Just
of the
kind of
Macy's
moving
Thanksgiving Day
through.
Parade.
Very
Live
military
from
band-esque,
DC.
you know. Great. Yeah.
With a first-place finish at Grand Nationals in 2019, Vandegrift High School.
Oh, here we go.
Band
Here's Vandegrift
Division
High School.
Dance
Many of you
Company
have requested
is
that
one of the
I react to
finest bands
Vandegrift,
in America.
their show,
Katie Van Doren
and I have
leads
not
this
done that
Austin,
yet.
Texas group in their Macy's Parade debut with
mean,
a
they're
fanciful
huge.
and
Oh my gosh, look at
rousing
them.
rendition of Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture.
Oh, listen just to the clarity in those woodwinds right there. And the clarity in the brass stuff too. I mean, my goodness. Not a lot of movement going around. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say not a lot of movement going around visually, but we've really focused on those front visual color guard people that don't have flags, but I can only imagine how difficult it is. I mean, I've seen pictures, that street where you're seeing from that camera, like, from what I understand, that is like scaffolding. Like, there's no more room. So that's an incredibly tight space for, I mean, probably 200 to 300 kids in this ensemble. Yeah, really solid there. You've got students, again, they're just stretched so wide, but you've got students that are hearing all of those tones between the flutes and the trumpets that are really matching solid intonation and pitch there, that are creating more of a holistic ensemble sound. And it's so hard in parades to do that because you only get a very short amount of time.
Directs the pride of New York City, the Queer Big Apple Corps Marching Band, representing all genders, ages, and
Oh, wow.
LGBTQ plus identities. They play
From New York.
and
Okay,
dance to
cool.
I Like It.
Yeah, you definitely hear, you're hearing the front end of that sound on all those brass instruments, which is a choice. It's a really great choice. It's not just from this ensemble, it's from a lot. You're hearing kind of that that brassy sound, more big band-esque, which is a choice, especially in marching band, is acceptable. It's just a choice. So you have kind of this difference between more brassy front starting of the tone sound and more like ensemble, holistic, warm sound. Oh, those are really clean. Those angles are really clean. They're simplistic, but they're clean. We love things that are simple but clean. Nice, and the way that they're structured here, I am curious. I see, like, you kind of got saxophones in a groove. We have some saxophones with trumpets. We're still very like sectioned off, you know, like with sections.
California Dreamin'.
Nice.
Director David Lesser's high school.
Okay, I've seen Clovis live. Several years ago, they came to St. Louis Power Regionals. Oh, I'm sorry, Super Regionals. Power Regionals is WGI. Super Regionals at St. Louis at the Edward Jones Dome. I got to see them live. Really, really great ensemble. I like the integration of the guard in between the marchers. I don't know if that's something that they just did whenever they were getting onto the mat to perform. Yeah, I'm really partial to ensembles that have the ensemble sound, where especially the trumpets, as a trumpet player myself, that are fitting into the underneath ensemble sound. And it's really hard because, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this performance is at the end of the parade. So you've already marched 2.5 miles, you've played that entire time, and now you're performing live for millions of people. So it's a tall order, it's difficult. That's why it's difficult for small bands. I have a lot of respect for bands that are, 100 or so people that march in these types of things, because you don't have another person next to you where you can take a break all the time. Not saying that large ensembles do that, but marching with a lot of small bands, I'm well aware that you gotta be on all the time.
Mighty South Dakota State University, pride of the Dakota
South Dakota.
Band from Brookings,
All right.
South Dakota. These 346 members represent.
Just seeing a wide array of marching styles, of uniform styles, of hat and plume and shako, and what are the cowboy hats called? I don't remember what they're called. Somebody tell me in the comments. Oh, nice arrangement. We're moving up. Yeah, some clarity in the sound. Again, I'm not sure if I would have made that comment live. Just a lot of things, especially in the trumpets, because they're really noticeable. You're just hearing every once in a while, you're like getting a couple of trumpets that aren't sustaining the pitch at the same duration. That's a really, really picky thing. It's not a bad thing overall. Most people probably wouldn't even hear that. It's an interesting chord. Wonder if that was written like that or if there was a wrong note in there. I do like the formation of them actually like taking a knee and the majority of the ensemble behind them. I think that's kind of cool.
Kentucky, population 10,000.
Paris, Kentucky.
Directors
Wow.
Michael Stone, Ty Carver, and Darnell Walls, and the Bourbon County High School Marching Colonels as they play
I like those uniforms.
Angels of Kentucky.
Angels of Kentucky. Interesting. I'm not familiar with the source material. Okay, so it's a take on Angels We Have Heard on High. D. Those were super clean in the brass. I like giving the woodwinds a moment. There's definitely a place where people want like loud, brassy, in your face, like all the brass stuff mixed with woodwind stuff. I'm not a super huge fan of that, just because it's really, really hard, especially when you're doing a performance like this, for all those high woodwinds to be super in tune with the brass stuff. So I'm more of a fan of letting the woodwinds and the brass families do their own thing and then working them together. So I'm not sure who the arranger of this is. I'd be really interested to know if anybody knows. If anybody from this Kentucky ensemble knows who your arranger is, I would love to know. That'd be super cool. But I love that interplay of the woodwind stuff and of the brass stuff together. I think it just really complements each other well.
The premier marching bands in the U.S.
Oh, let me guess. Carmel.
Marching Greyhounds from Carmel
Yes,
High
so
School
we've
in
already
Indiana.
reacted to
By
Carmel
Chris
High School.
Franke, the Greyhounds ring in the
And
holiday season
I just have to point
with
out,
Winter Wonderland.
a week and a half before this, they won Grand Nationals. And then a week and a half later, these kids are crazy. With great band directors. I like the choice of the rifles. I think that's the first group I've seen to do that. Yeah, not hearing a ton of woodwind stuff going on here doesn't mean that it isn't happening. I'm just not hearing it because of the placement of the camera and the placement of the performers. And they've chosen to keep all of their performers pretty stationary, and we're only seeing a really small portion of the band.
Welcome Macy's Great
Nice.
American Marching Band under the direction of Dr.
Oh, the
Rich
Macy's Great
Miller,
American Marching
Dr.
Band.
Doug Rosner, and Dennis Rhodes, comprised of the top band and auxiliary members from all 50 states and D.C. These star high school students now proudly perform Christmas carols on parade.
Oh, that sound is just so full and clean. D, da, da, dee. You can tell it's really been worked on. And all of those deep da 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 da, those short notes are really consistent in length. When we say notes are short or notes are long in an ensemble rehearsal, sometimes you get a lot of different variations of how short and of how long. But whenever you can all make a decision that they're all the exact same length, they're all the same length of short, you get really, really fantastic results musically. I like the placement of the battery here. I just think it works really well. I'm really impressed with that group. I don't know who does their writing. Maybe Richard Saucedo for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking maybe he does it. Nice. Tarpon Springs.
Band from Tarpon Springs High School as part of the school's curriculum. These musicians belong to an educational program that promotes character development and leadership by being involved in the arts. Let's travel back to the 1940s for It's the Most Wonderful
Interesting.
Time
You're
of the
seeing
Year.
the use of some uniform, like custom costume type. I don't want to call them costumes. I know we don't call them costumes in the marching arts, but you are seeing the use of these custom uniform ideas. Again, love the addition of the woodwind voice as its own thing, aside from the brass thing. I think it's really cool whenever they have additional props and some different things. A couple years ago, there was a group that had a grand piano, and I was like, did you march all the way through the parade with that grand piano? That's commitment. And I don't know if, I'm assuming they had to march all the way through with these things. I'm really a fan of groups that are integrating the Christmas music really well with solid. Sorry, I'm just taking in so much right now. I love the Christmas arrangements that are challenging student performers, showing what students can do. Gosh, just that's great. It's so well done. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, I can't believe it's over. It's been 15 minutes already? Wow. Okay, so leave a comment below. Were you in any of these bands? And if so, leave a comment. How was your day at the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade? What time did you rehearse in the morning? Answer all those questions that we all want to know, right? And leave a subscribe and a follow, or a subscribe. We're on YouTube. Leave a subscribe. Give it a thumbs up and a like if you want to keep seeing this stuff. And we'll see you around soon.